you, right? He wants you. He does indeed want you. He wants everything that you've got. There isn't anything that you have, ever hoped to have, or ever had that he's not planning on taking away. Another magazine, also on the table. Let me lean over once again. Here it is. Tax, spend. And you see a little teeny thing down here, cut. The government is taking away the monies that you've got. They're taking away the privileges that you have. They want to set blacks and whites against each other. They want, and I say those who control this government, a country in crisis. When the country is in crisis, they can control it. They can control you. And that's what this is all about.
Well, now, let me ask you this. Now, let's assume that the Clinton administration, that Bill Clinton is the man of the hour, the man that whoever, the Illuminati or whoever the government within the government is, wants to force on the people. With all the problems that we had last year with regards to civil unrest and rioting and looting, wouldn't it behoove the powers that be for us not to have a riot this year so that we could rest assured that the Clinton administration has helped us out?
The Clinton administration, the Bush administration, the Reagan administration, the Carter administration, the Ford, the Nixon, they're all the same administration. We have a one-party system, Hegelian politics, and they want to bring about crisis in this country. They want this thing to come down, and LaSalle knows he lives in South Central.
I think there's one thing really to bring about, and let history speak for itself. Over all of the administrations in the United States of America, I know all of you, your family, your family's family, your ancestry, you have experienced ups and downs, boom, bust, reactionary capitalism for over the years. The deficit has continued to grow over the years. During the Reagan and the Bush years alone, the deficit tripled. In our government, supposedly we have the finest minds that money could buy. Now, do you think by any stretch of the imagination, if we have the finest minds that are running our country, that we would be in the shape that we're in right now? Think about that.
But we have an imperfect society. Like I pointed out before, we've got people of different religions, different political views coming together. It's natural that we would have a point of chaos. We don't need people to come in and create chaos. We can do it ourselves.
Dwayne, the chaos is created. It's created. It's crisis creation. When George Bush said he was going to reduce the taxes, he gave us the greatest tax increase in American history. The greatest tax increase in American history. He lied. Now, you know he lied. You know he lied. And it's the big lie. Adolf Hitler did the same thing. And the Bush family, the crime family of the Bushes, well, they backed Adolf Hitler. Senator Prescott Bush, we know that he was in Brown Brothers Harriman. Brown Brothers Harriman was supporting IG Farben, Standard Oil. Standard Oil was supplying the Nazis with fuel during the war for the Luftwaffe to come in. It's crisis creation, whether it's with Nazi Germany or with Japan or in South Central Los Angeles.
Crisis creation, South Central Los Angeles. Here's crisis creation for you. I know all of you are familiar with the Rodney King case, and you saw all of those events emerge slowly but surely. Oh, the Crips and the Bloods were the perpetrators of the rioting and the burning, right? You realize through the educational system, a lot of African Americans, as we're called today, probably didn't have the necessary education to, say, go as far as they would like to go. As a matter of fact, a lot of them had to live in a lot of ignorance. Do you think by any stretch of the imagination, as the Rodney King event was evolving, all the way up to the verdicts, that then the Crips and Bloods got together and conspired and then went and purchased beforehand explosives and then planned to take down as many buildings that were burned in Los Angeles, California last year? Think about that.
Well, I mean, if you believe that, I've got some good land to sell you in southern Florida right about now. This is absolutely absurd. It's preposterous that we would buy this big one, and that's what they're asking for us, to buy the big banana here.
It was not just the Crips and the Bloods, though. In between those, those groups, there were other groups who also kind of got in with the spur of the moment. And then you had business owners who burned their own buildings in order to collect from the insurance to blame the rioters.
Dwayne, here's really the deal. You have to understand that people have lived under this oligopoly in pain, in distress. They have gotten themselves in situations that they were looking for an out. Now, although, yes, those events were planned, a lot of people saw that and saw an opportunity for themselves. They saw freedom. So you take a businessman that has been in business for maybe 20, 30 years and is stuck and does not know what to do with his life, and then he sees the city coming down. You know about the domino theory. Just follow suit.
He wants the opportunity to get out. And take a look at the businesses. Up and down the street, they're closing right and left. The department stores are closing. We have an invasion of this country from Mexico. 10%, that's 10% of the population of Mexico is living here illegally.
Well, no,
there is an invasion. Any country that can't protect its borders cannot protect its people.
The problem with Mexico is not with the Mexican government. It's with our corporations going down there and taking advantage of their cheap labor and removing jobs from the United States.
No. It's twofold. You've got it right. You've got it right. We're exporting 400 corporations. So they're going to have labor down there for 40 cents an hour. Then they're going to export that product to the United States. We are exporting our jobs. We are importing slave labor product. Now, in Mexico, they're not slaves. But in communist China, they are slaves. 23 million people in some 7,668 death camps with an attrition rate of 25%. That's 5,750,000 people die every single solitary year. And it's rumored, folks, that some of those people don't always have a nice day.
Well, now, assuming that this is all true, and you've been doing this warning people for something like, what, 20, 25 years, probably longer than that, about the Illuminati. Have there been death threats on your life? Have people tried to silence you because of this?
On Radio Free America in Alaska, I had several death threats. But I thought it would be unwise to go over to the police, because if there was some sort of organized plan to get rid of, to slaughter or enslave Anthony J. Hilder, that would simply give them an excuse to say, well, look, oh, here it is. It's from somebody from the Ku Klux Klan. You're a nigger lover, and we're going to go out there and we're going to knock you off, and the glass over there will not protect you from our bullets. Well, in the studio, I did not put my back next to the glass, and I did get some of those letters from the Klan, and believe it or not, there's a Klan in Anchorage, Alaska. But I was concerned, yes, I had 4 death threats in one day. But I'm more concerned about the threat of government. I'm more concerned about the threat of big government. When they ask you, or when Bill Clinton says, well, listen, we're going to help you out, we're going to furnish jobs, we're going to take more money from you because we're going to take that money to create jobs. Well, what the government gives, it must first take away. You know that. It can give you nothing unless it first takes it away. And it does so with force, or threat of force, violence, or threat of violence, incarceration, or threat of incarceration. The government is the enemy. The bigger the government, the bigger the enemy.
Another point to bring out here is that you really get nothing for your money, which is really insidious. I'm going to hold this up once again, and I want you to take a good look at Bill there. And you probably can see it and experience another example of this on any neighborhood where there's poverty and you see people out there holding their hands out for a little bit of money. Well,